Oh, come on.
Britney is in need of a second date update this morning, and we're going to try to help her out. Hey, Britney.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning. Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
Happy
I hope
to.
it goes well. I had this really great time with this guy. I thought we really connected on a deep level, and I just felt like there was some really serious potential there. I met him on an alternative site. I'm not going to say which one, for his privacy too.
Okay.
There's some really interesting ones out there.
What do you mean alternative site? I mean, can you tell me what
Like finding a sugar daddy.
some of them would be, or is it like a fetish?
kink
Are you
thing.
into a certain
Kink, fetish,
something?
sugar daddy. There's all kinds of,
There's a lot. I'm just not going to say because, not everyone is the same. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, we all have
Yeah.
our likes, and some people are just really more open-minded about things than others. So it's just not very, heteronormative.
doesn't matter. You're just going to find somebody that had similar interests.
And we don't kink shame here, so.
No.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So we met for drinks, and that led to dinner, and we had a really great time. We spent over 3 hours together, and he ended up back at my place for a while. He didn't spend the night, but let's just say we explored some things. You know what I mean?
Know what you mean?
Yeah. I just felt really connected to him. I mean, there was a lot of chemistry there. And honestly, it's hard for me to meet people. I don't get out a lot. I'm pretty hesitant. I'm picky. And it was just really rare that I'd met someone who was into the same stuff that I'm into. I mean, that's why I took him home with me. And, there's this vulnerability factor there. And I just put everything out there, and he didn't seem fazed by anything that I shared. So I don't understand what happened. I want to know,
Well, yeah. Listen, you went into this community hoping to find someone that shares similar interests.
Mm-hmm.
And, you think you find someone and you're feeling this seemingly real chemistry with this other person, and you did spend 3 hours with them, right? Or that was
Right.
just the date. It went longer than that because he went back to your place. Is that right?
Yeah, it went a lot longer than that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
would it be safe to say that you both saw this through? Because you said he did not spend the night, but you did stuff, right?
We did a lot of stuff, and for me, that's a lot. It makes me really vulnerable considering some things, and I really put myself out there with him. I don't normally just do that kind of stuff with someone I've just met like that.
Yeah.
This seems special to me, and now I feel really weird about it because he hasn't responded to anything that I've sent over to him.
Well, we're happy to call him, but you understand by coming on Second Date Update that you run the risk of whatever stuff you're talking about could very well become part of the conversation on the radio, right?
Yeah, it's worth it for me, though, because he's not responding, and I can't get him out of my head. I just want to know at this point, and I'll risk whatever.
So you're going to let him go there.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
I will.
All right, that's fine. I like how you're hedging your bets, though, because you're like, I'm not sure that I want to put it out there. Let me just see if he goes there first, and then we can go there together.
Well, I feel like I have no choice at this point.
Well, we give you credit for taking the chance. So
Thank you.
why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll call Trevor and see what he really thought of Britney and his date with her. Wouldn't it be funny if after all this he was like, oh, yeah, no, I meant to call her. I just got busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That'd be
was out of
great.
town.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
No. All right, Britney, hang on. We'll call Trevor next. Britney met Trevor on one of those alternative dating platforms, shall we say, and she didn't want to get specific because, well, it's just not necessary at this point, and we kind of want to talk to Trevor first to make sure we can, move forward with this. So without using any last names and getting into too much detail, she told us they had a great 3-hour date that ended up at her place, which went even longer. They fooled around, which is a big deal for Britney because she doesn't usually like allowing herself to be vulnerable in that way. It doesn't sound like you do a whole lot of dating. Is that right, Britney?
No, I don't.
Because you're picky. You said you were very picky.
Yeah, I'm picky, and there's some baggage, but I'm not like a shut-in or anything. I mean, I try to meet people.
You're choosy. You're selective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you really felt like you connected with Trevor.
Yeah, really, like on a deep level. We had a lot of stuff in common. He was really funny. Like, it was like easy, like we just clicked. And he seemed very open-minded.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to call Trevor and see if we can't maybe get a second date or some kind of vibe from him one way or another.
Something.
Because given the way Britney is about dating, this is a really big deal for her to put herself out there. So she must think he's worth it. So if you're ready, Britney, unless there's anything else you can think of before we make the call, now's the time.
I can't think of anything else, so might as well just go for it.
All right, let's go for it. We're doing it.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, is this Trevor?
Who's this?
Hey, Trevor, it's Jeff, Jen, Fritch, and Tim at Q102. How are you this morning?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Time out.
Wait a minute. Don't. Why are you guys calling? I apologize. I don't get to listen a lot. I tend to sleep in.
That's okay. Well, I kind of got that impression. No, we don't mean to disturb you, and I'm sorry if we woke you up. We talked to someone who knows you, and she sounds really nice. I guess you guys went on a date recently, and we just wanted to check in and get your thoughts on the date.
Oh, so it is one of those dating things.
It is one of those dating things.
This is going to be weird. What was her name?
Britney.
Cool, yeah. So,
Are you doing a lot of dating, Trevor?
I mean, every so often, and I don't know who's going to call up with this stuff, but I know Britney. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. I got to tell you, she's very picky. I don't know if you know that about her.
Yes, she did mention that a few times. I don't know what else she mentioned to you. I don't know what she told you. Did she say like how we met or anything?
She didn't go into detail, but we understand you met on a kind of off the beaten path dating platform, and that's cool. Whatever, we don't kink shame around here. She didn't go into any detail other than by putting herself out there, by allowing herself to be vulnerable. She was pleasantly surprised to discover what she thought was a real connection with you. Did she get that wrong?
Well, it's cool. It sounds like she didn't share too many personal details because the stuff that both of us are into is kind of a little bit out of the norm. But she kind of left out a major detail in the whole course of the evening and in the course of setting the date up that I was not prepared for. And it totally freaked me out, if I'm to be honest. And
are we talking like a kink that you didn't think was part of the deal or something else?
It goes beyond kink even. I feel weird even talking about it, but, I'm on the radio now and you guys woke me up.
Well, listen, I don't want you to feel like we're putting you on the spot. This isn't ambush radio. We don't have to have this conversation at all, but it was important enough for Britney to call us to ask you, since you weren't responding to any of her texts. And if you both want to stop it right here, we can. We got Britney on the line.
We can call it. We can take it off the air.
It's up to you, Britney. I don't know what you already shared, so I don't. If you're comfortable with me explaining my side of the story, then I can do it. But I don't. It's up to you.
It's fine. I just want to know what happened at this point.
All right. So we went out on a date. Things were clicking. We ended up back at her place. We start fooling around, and there's no delicate way to say this, but she doesn't have a vagina. I mean, I never experienced this. I kind of, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable now, but we were fooling around.
Did she have something else?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, did she have something else?
No, there was just nothing. Like I don't know. She was talking something about, I don't want to get it wrong, but like medical issues. Is it a hysterectomy? And listen, I'm no doctor, right? I don't know the ins and outs of all this, but I assumed that hysterectomy meant no into like ovaries, right? Not like the stuff inside. I had no idea that they somehow removed the vagina. Like, is that honestly, that's a real thing?
I've never.
You're asking the wrong
you're
people.
right. Yeah, you're asking the wrong
I
crowd.
have no
here.
idea. Brittany, you want to weigh in here?
The way I tell people, and I told him, was I had a medical condition that resulted in something called vaginal closure surgery. That's how I explained it. I tell people I had a complete hysterectomy. It wasn't my choice. I had to have it. And they took everything inside and then they dealt with the outside. And this is how I explained it. Doesn't that seem pretty complete in my answer?
It's, I think, a far field between you told me this thing that's completely abstract in my mind and then the reality of the situation. I mean, I'm struggling talking about it now because I still don't understand.
So you thought by telling him a total
that they took everything,
that he would understand that meant and included
that.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that was the definition. And you guys have different definitions, so that's where the confusion is.
But this is the thing. He could have told me, I go on these apps that are alternative or fringe because I'm looking for someone with an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, maybe he doesn't belong there because obviously his mind's not very open. I mean, I was very blunt about it. I guess I had to spell it out a little more, but thanks for having an open mind.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, I'm sorry about the whole situation, your situation, like the whole thing. You're very nice. You're very attractive. I liked you very much, but you just got to give people more of a heads up in this situation. Like, I think if you are more explicit in defining everything, right? There's several guys on this call, and there's women on this call, and none of us I've ever heard of everything meaning everything. So I don't feel like I'm in the minority here, and I think this is just a misunderstanding gone way too far, and that's it.
Well, thanks for your advice. Mine to you is to be honest with people. You should have just told me that freaked you out instead of acting all supportive and interested. We hung out after that, and you even said, I'll talk to you soon. You led me on, and that's not cool. You should have said, hey, where's the stuff, or what's going on, or just been blunt about it. At that point, we're in it, And I wouldn't assume that just because I had the surgery that I had, that there aren't other ways that we could, have fun in the bedroom. Like, I'm not inept or anything. You're really making an assumption that that's all there is, and it's not. So you're lost, buddy.
All right, guys. Well, listen, this is a first for Second Date Update.
It's new.
We really appreciate you putting yourself out there, Brittany, and having the conversation with us. And
Appreciate the honesty. And good luck to you, Brittany, for sure.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
And Trevor, appreciate you coming on Second Date Update. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. All right. So if you need a little help with the Second Date Update, send us an email, Jeff and Jen at WKRQ.com.
Would you use an AI life coach?
Nah.
Think about that. Also, do you think you need a special booze to pair with waffles? I think that's worth exploring.